What's up? We still haven't worked out. We still haven't worked out our intro. But hey guys,
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is the Harbor Podcast.
I'm the Kino Cowboy.
And I'm just Dylan.
What's up? All
Go
right.
ahead.
Okay. The dust has settled. It's been weeks since The Rise of Skywalker has come out. Everyone said what they've had to say, and now we're gonna say what we have.
We're gonna
say.
add to the discourse.
Yeah, we have to. This is like my therapy.
This is baggage being unloaded,
So
unleashed.
this is mainly just gonna be focused on Star Wars. We might get into some Mandalorian stuff too, because hey,
Just ended, and I have some like theories kind of about how it ends, and maybe they're okay. Anyway, but yeah, go on.
okay, no, I mean I'm just saying, so we can just get into it, I guess.
Where do you even want to begin? Is the question?
Today we're brought to you by Moonman. Check it out. You can't, because I can't legally sell it online because of all the samples. But if you DM me, I might give you one.
Hey,
Anyway, so I guess we'll just start. Let's start
from the beginning. From
Yeah.
The Force Awakens.
Okay.
Okay. So, JJ's mystery box aspect. I want to start there. Basically, I want to start
I
there.
knew it.
I want to start there.
I was
because
just talking to Justin about.
I just want to start there because so that's clearly set up in The Force Awakens.
Yes.
That, who is she, blah blah blah. Do you think The Last Jedi answers that question with a good definite answer and a place to leave off to go into the third one? That's where we need to start, because you think the answer to that question.
Well, I think the whole message of The Last Jedi, that anyone can be the hero, doesn't have to be like a blood thing. I thought that was awesome.
I think it's awesome too, and I was just telling Sumner off camera that Rian Johnson has this quote, in Empire, when Luke finds out that he's not that his dad is basically like Space Hitler. that is the worst thing that he could hear in that moment.
Yeah.
And I think in The Last Jedi, he talks about how in that moment she wants to hear that she's somebody because she needs that.
So
she needs that, and so he was like, "What's the worst thing that Rey can hear in that moment? It's that she's nobody. She's nobody." And I think that is a great, people talk about subverting expectations and he just does it just to do it. I think that's a great moment of where you have characters that are on this arc, and I think that clearly sets up and answers what JJ presented. Maybe he didn't like it, but I think that was a great, and you could continue that into the third one regardless of if you liked it or not. You could play with that idea,
Yes.
Yes?
That's great.
No, yeah.
No, I always thought that was a great message, and that, I like, we've been through this before in the last podcast, but I love all the deconstruction of the Jedi Order and Luke Skywalker's hubris and all this cool shit that was like fresh and not very Disney-esque to deconstruct a lot of Star Wars shit.
And it presents questions that they get answered some in that movie, but he left. People say that Rian Johnson left JJ with nowhere to go, and I think that's just total bullshit because there are so many things that he leaves. And starting to get into the actual movie, the fucking first 15 minutes that are just like weird montage. It threw me off so hard. It's going so fast with like Kylo Ren,
the first 15 minutes, my eyes like already like glazed over. I was like,
what's happening? Yeah,
but no, the biggest thing I thought was cool was that The Last Jedi left it where he was the supreme leader. Kylo Ren was the supreme leader.
Yeah, I love that.
This is great. Now he's the big bad.
And people clearly are not happy about him being the supreme leader, and yet all this great.
I was like,
you can have tension and drama
with
it because he's still like a fucking whiny, not spoiled, but just really emotional person. How is he going to rule? Doesn't get answered. He has his helmet back though by a weird space monkey. That was weird.
It's like, let's bring Palpatine back and diminish this newfound power.
They literally have Snoke in a container.
Several of them.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, all the weird, like, high concept, like, Sith planet shit.
I love
imagery.
that.
I thought that was sick.
I thought it was great.
When he arrived on Exegol, I was like, oh shit. This is imagery in Star Wars I've always wanted to see. I was like, okay.
Why don't, just to get a little canon, like, why did they make a whole new planet? They already have a Sith planet that is the Sith planet, I'm just curious why they chose to do that.
Korriban originally, and then George Lucas renamed it to Morban, which is, it's fine. You see it in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
But
why do you think they...
I see... Okay, I think Morban is more of like a resting place for all these Sith and like Sith ghosts or whatever.
And isn't that where the actual Sith race was We're getting real like
Either way, I've always wanted to see something like far, far, far beyond the outer rim, and this outer reaches like way off.
I agree.
So I was like, okay, this is fucking cool.
I like the actual like the way it's like whatever like that temple is, the way it's just like an under. I like the imagery of it. Yeah, I agree.
So cool. So that was. I was like, oh, okay, but and I like the idea. Look, it's like, first of all, I view all these 3 movies now basically as expensive fan fiction. Since it's not George Lucas, but I mean, what was I gonna say? Something about
Exegol and how he's
it's just like from a lore standpoint, I love how they build up Palpatine as like he is like tapped into some soothsayer, like force shit, like he's been around this whole time.
Like it gets more fantasy. I like that too.
I like that, and but it's just like, if I wish he could have came back in like a different story unrelated to this trilogy.
And there's nothing
if
that
he was going to come back,
or like
because if they were gonna bring him back, they should have done it at the end of the 8th one as like a twist. Mm-hmm. It's like, he kills Snoke. And then it should have like him revealed like hearing Snoke's voice in his head still, and he's like, "What that?"
That'd be
and
great.
then it like transforms or something. And then at the very end, he should have gone to Exegol and see all the ships like rise up and stuff, and like set it up like that. And then you'd be like, "Oh, shit!"
There's like the ending that. Oh yeah, but instead it's like the first 20 minutes of the movie are like, "Here's my part 2." Yeah, we got to get to it real quick.
Okay, here's
we got to find. And there's a thing, and then there's a fucking not a Sith holocron, a Wayfinder.
I call it a holocron.
That's a holocron.
I mean, that's Why not just call
it? That's what I'm talking about. Like, why make it a new thing? You already have like
you have all this stuff. Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy is saying, well, it's hard to make new shit. Blah blah blah. We don't have stuff to pull from, and we have all these legends that y'all made non-canon. I can't help that, but and. I like that, like, all the weird, dark Force shit that we hadn't seen. It implies that he's been around for a long time, and it makes... I like his... Now the speech in Revenge of the Sith makes it even creepier.
I have a question, though. So do you think the Palpatine that we see in this movie is, like, ancient? And that all the Palpatines we have seen in the other ones are clones of him?
No, well, okay, I think Palpatine's been around... Even before this movie came out, I thought that Palpatine had been around for a while. And I think that... I think that Force Lightning and Revenge of the Sith brought the life force out of him. That's why he's all wrinkled and old, just from that like Force Lightning shit. So even then, I always thought, okay, I think he's like older than we always thought he was in that like.
Okay.
So yeah, I think he's been around. Some people were thinking that he's Darth Plagueis. I don't know.
I'm just like curious, like, is the one that we see in Rise of Skywalker the one that fell down the Death Star, or was that a clone? You know, because
that's a new vessel.
That's a new vessel.
That's why he looks so different.
Yeah,
that's definitely a new vessel. Yeah, because I mean, I should have seen it coming. Well, the thing is that when The Force Awakens was coming out, me and Scott and whoever else were like joking because. In the original books, before they made him non-canon, there was like several clones. He cloned himself several times.
Clone everybody.
Palpatine. Yeah. I was like, what if they cloned the Emperor? And we joked and laughed and said, no, they wouldn't do that.
They did.
They did do that.
They did.
Wow.
So, aside from just that weirdness aside, do you like the characters in Rise? Like, do you like where they at least went? Like, Ben, Rey...
Well, I was always deep down. I was hoping that Ben would get redeemed.
I
didn't see how it was possible because he killed his dad. But
if it's possible for Anakin, I know we as an audience have more attachment to the fact that it's Han that he killed. But I mean, if you think about it rationally, Anakin
is killed,
murdered, and he got redeemed. I think it's fine. Yeah.
I don't like his fucking weird outfit that he's wearing when he's not in the...
He's like a Urban Outfitter. He's like he looks like he's like a... No, it reminded me of like the rave scene in Matrix Reloaded where everyone's like in those weird garbs and they just...
Dude, that scene is weird.
It is weird, but I like it. I like his little... I like his clear difference in personality. He's a lot more like...
No, but like... Okay, Elena Kaiser's, shout out Elena Kaiser if you're listening to this. Her Twitter handle was Ben Solo's Muggle outfit or something like that. I was like, fuck.
I love. Well, we're jumping ahead though. Before that happens.
Yeah.
Do you like the fact that what they did with Carrie Fisher? Because the way they set up that start to that, and it's they did the best they could. That's one part that I can't.
They did the best they could. I think for what it is. I mean, it's stiff. She's like standing like.
Dude, she's always like this.
She's always like this. Like the I had to do it to him guy.
Yeah, my mom. First time it came out, she was like, Carrie Fisher's always doing this. You think there's some reason behind it? I was like, I think they just had to work with
all the footage they had.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't do some weird CGI shit.
But they did,
but that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But here's what they should have done, in my head, is that, look, they should have just had, it's like, okay, we get it. Carrie Fisher's dead, so we'll just turn the script around and, hey, let's have Rey training under an old ass Ahsoka.
That would be awesome. I mean, we hear, although that means she's dead, because we hear her voice.
Well, Dave Filoni said, maybe he said what he said about her possibly being dead. I don't know, but it's like she could have went and found like an ancient Jedi or something. I get it. They wanted to.
Or just like go back to Luke, like that was like Luke was he'd done his job. He's a Force ghost, and he's like a better person for it now. He's
but the Force ghosts just kind of appear when they want to, and that's always been the case.
That's true.
It's very convenient times.
True. It's very true. Yeah, I don't know. Like the whole. Basically, so like the way it starts out, where she's training on that planet,
and
it's Leia who's the one who's training her. I like that in theory. It just it was hard to work with.
If she wouldn't have been dead, and you would have been able to see her like do Force shit and like teach her like full on instead of just having.
Because this is that one montage and that's it, and you're like, okay. That's also the beginning of the movie where it feels like there's like.
Well, they said originally the original plan was to have Leia be the main focus.
The main focus, yeah. The first one was Harrison, second one was Mark Hamill, so, yeah. It just sucks. Like that's unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely.
That aside, though, I do like. I mean, I think this is the good type of funny. Like the comedic moments in this movie, I think they work for the most part. I think 3PO is the best he's ever been in a fucking movie.
Yeah.
And
there was a few times I was like, okay, that's just okay.
Like the fly now one? I don't like that line that much.
No, it's just like he's like, no, I like that. That's silly.
I don't like that one.
But it's a little too self-aware on the nose. But no, just when C-3PO is like, "Oh, good job, sir," and then immediately he's like, "Terrible job, sir." Like, shut up.
I love that. I love that line. Actually, my favorite 3PO moment is where they're looking back and they look back at 3PO says something and they're all like. Turning like what the hell, and then he's like just slowly like turns around.
He also turns around that.
Yeah, that was a great. That was a great
3PO was a good plus of this movie.
Yeah,
I did like when he said that R2 is his best friend. Or
I
was like, okay.
Yeah,
it's like maybe I wanted R2 to go on the adventure, but I knew there was way too many people on this quest, so I understood why they had to cut him.
Speaking of that, though, I just there were too many fake out moments in this movie for me, like fake deaths,
like Chewie.
3PO in a certain extent, where he kind of died, that, and then Kylo Ren like twice, like he fake dies.
Well, no one thought Kylo Ren was actually dead when he got blown off by the Emperor.
Well, but that's what I'm saying, just fake deaths in general.
Oh well, no, the fake death when he gets stabbed, that had plenty of build up because it showed her
that works for me. That works for me.
That works for sure. Yeah,
I'm just saying they were just like if you notice, there's a lot of them. There are a lot of like these like fake out moments that. Kind of work for me, but sometimes they don't. Like the Chewie one didn't work for me at all.
Initially I was like, "Fuck."
No, see,
it did get me.
If they would have kept it that way, or at least they would have let the characters sink into that a little more. But it literally, as soon as he she does it, that was a great moment. I think that really sets up that could have been some drama that could have been going on. But like the characters don't know it. But like the next scene is like Chewie's alive, and so the audience is like, oh, okay.
I was relieved because I didn't want Chewie to be dead.
I didn't want him to be dead either.
The second time around, it would have been better.
I wish they would just held it off a little bit longer.
Oh, for sure.
A little bit longer.
Yeah. I agree.
Or maybe we don't even see. Yeah. I do like that moment though. That moment, I was like, that was one moment where I was genuinely like, oh shit, where are we gonna go from here? But then I was like, oh wait, that's Palpatine. And then I was like, okay, they're about to. I was literally the first time I watched the movie. I was like, once I saw that Force lightning come out, I was like, okay, so when are they gonna say she's a Palpatine?
Oh really?
Yeah, that was the moment I was.
I just thought she was like See, to me, it was like more of like a she hasn't honed her Jedi skills in the proper way, and she's leaning towards
the
her
dark
feelings a little bit more than she should, anger-wise.
That's one of the things I like about her character is that she's always been kind of angry. You know, she's also a very angry character, and I like. You know, what does Luke say? You went straight to the dark, and I like that still kind of comes through.
He's like shocked.
Yeah.
So for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, do you like that first little excursion? I'm trying to go like kind of.
No, I get it. Yeah.
By scene wise, I'm just trying to think back. Like when they introduced, isn't it weird how the Mandalorian, the episode aired where Baby Yoda does the Force heal, and then that was the episode that premiered.
Yeah.
And then you see it in the Rise of Skywalker. I just noticed that. I picked up. That was clearly intentional, you know. How do you feel about that whole force power in general?
Well, it opens up a lot of worms. It's like, why didn't they do? You know, it's
why is Qui-Gon dead?
Yeah. Why is Qui-Gon Jinn dead? How come? I mean, can all Jedi do it, or just like?
She must have
the dyad.
She must have read it like in those books too.
Must have been in those books.
So like it's not a new concept, you know. Must have been around.
Yeah.
And also the dyad like being introduced is, I like that in theory, but I just wish they would have set it up more like that they are like I guess they kind of do in the Last Jedi.
They kind of do.
They definitely do. I take that back
because they have that connection the whole movie.
I guess they just don't
Jedi.
say it. They don't say
it. Yeah. It's like
maybe I like the fact that they didn't say it, and I wish they would have just kept it as like they don't name them as like a dyad. It's more just like this is like, you know, you get the clear indication that they are one side or both sides of like the same coin type of thing.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just a weird moment where he just was like, me and you, we're a dyad. And like, I don't know. I was like, okay, cool, hell yeah. It just was weird. A lot of weird moments for me. I don't know. Like, they just felt weird. It's the only way I can describe it.
Well, I didn't feel... It wasn't that way. I mean,
not even bad weird.
No. To me, the Last Jedi had more weird moments that I had to like accept, like think about, and like think, and like be like, do I like this? And then I'm like, yes, I do like this. Mm-hmm. Like when Leia like flies and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, whoa, this is not shit I've ever seen in Star Wars.
Yeah.
There was plenty of shit in this movie. I was like, okay, yeah, all right.
Mm-hmm. I do like how the way they did. JJ did take one of the ideas that Rian Johnson introduced with the whole force connection, and they take it to a new level of like they can literally like. Yeah, you know, like summon shit through the Force. I love the way that they actually did that. It was, and they were like fighting when they're not there together. I thought that was pretty cool.
And then,
So, I'm trying to think. So they get off of the. Also, it's really just kind of contrived the way that the fetch quest type of storytelling is like. Okay, so Luke was hunting a Jedi killer with Lando, and they tracked him to a planet. But they couldn't find the guy there, but they just found his ship, and then they fall into sand, and then underneath the sand is the dead body of the guy.
Okay, let's get this out of the way. Chris Terrio's a hacky writer.
Like, what? That's a lot of, like...
Chris Terrio's a fucking hacky writer. He wrote Batman vs. Superman.
He wrote Justice League.
And it's like... You hired the Batman vs. Superman writer to... They should have begged Lawrence Kasdan to come back.
Yeah, they should have.
Like, what the fuck?
Just, like, end it all. Like, come on.
Some of the most contrived shit I've ever seen in Star Wars movies in that movie.
Yeah.
Case in point, the knife that just happens to line up to the Death Star, the crashed Death Star. I was like... It's like shit out of, like, a... This is the most Saturday morning cartoon version of the movie I've ever seen.
It's very
like the coin that for some reason grants you access to any
fucking. That felt very like Star Wars Rebels to me. Like not even like I get it. But it definitely was like, hey, take this. And damn, dude, like that was an opportunity for a cool character too. I actually really liked the moment where the plot stops for a second and they're at that like very Casablanca-esque like Nazi raid. I like how it slows down for a second.
They should have
I wish they would have let it
bit more.
Yeah, I wish they would have let it sit more.
Also, I get the plot was as fast as I think they should have padded it a little bit more and given more. There was more breathing space in the movie than I remember the first time. I will give it that. But like when they arrived to that snowy, whatever it's called,
Pisana, I think is what
something,
it's called.
Whatever. They should have shown them. There should have been like some like espionage or something.
Establishing shots of
them having to like sneak into there, so there's a challenge instead of them already being there. It's not as like thrilling.
That
like,
and
okay, we got to sneak into this little town and find this thing.
That and then as soon as the first thing, they're peeking around, and then Zori shows up, and then she's like, you fucking scum, and then like literally Ray's like, no.
Yeah, there should have been
like,
way more.
She's like, I guess
there
you're
should have been
okay.
way more of like a fight or conflict right there to make it like harder
and then,
to achieve what they're trying to achieve.
And then they leave in the camera pans, and the Knights of Ren are just like, don't, like, dude, what?
Cartoon, man.
Cartoon.
Saturday cartoon. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? And then the Knights of Ren, they don't get anything. It's like, we're finally getting the Knights of Ren in this movie. They don't do shit.
I wish we'd at least gotten a line of like, those are like the students that so much missed opportunities, I guess.
And then neither the first two of the trilogy flesh out the state of the Republic and the world any of that, or the politics or anything, really. It's like, how is the Republic related to the Resistance and what's going on in like Coruscant or wherever there's state.
I agree.
And so we got none of that.
It's hard to understand that like the First Order are literally like doing like a all-out like attack on every system. You don't really get that from the way the Last Jedi ends to the way it's set up in this one. Like the First Order are like, they're like, they've locked down, like, you don't get the whole dynamic of like, the Republic is like, they are being.
There would be so much more weight to it if you could know what was going on.
And like, how was the Resistance fucking connected to the Republic? Because they're not, it's weird. Yeah.
So
there's no establishment of like dynamics between these two, and you don't really get that in the original Star Wars either. But you just know that the Empire, they control everything. That's all you need to know.
Well, at that point they're already controlling shit.
Exactly.
And so, but like, because in the new trilogy, it seems like, I don't know.
Well, see, this is just from reading up on stuff. The way the new trilogy starts is that the First Order and the Force Awakens haven't officially declared war or anything yet. They've been building, and the moment they attack the system, that's like, oh shit, it's war now. The Last Jedi takes place right afterwards. Yeah. So that is the First Order staging attacks on every single planet. Like, that was happening along with like they were attacking other planets too and like invading them. And there's so in this new one, it's like a year later, I think. A year or two, and it's like, there's a time gap, but it doesn't really feel like it at all. It doesn't establish that the First Order is like, we're the Empire again. We have control over all these star systems and planets and all that. You don't get that. You get that shot of like the Star Destroyers being blown up, and they like on Endor, you see the one above Endor or the moon of Endor. It's like, oh, okay. Or like in Bespin too. Yeah. Like, oh, okay. So they were everywhere. You don't. We're only
finding out now.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's no.
It just is no. There's no setup. Yeah, it's weird. Sure. Yeah, that's what I mean by like. There's a lot of weird moments that just like the more you think about it, the more it's like, why does this not track? And then you think, oh yeah, it doesn't track because of this. And then you're like, why does that not track? And then you're like, oh, because of that. A lot of those type of moments for me in this movie.
It was almost like. I know it wasn't written like this, but it was almost like, have you ever seen Wallace and Gromit, any of them?
I've seen the first one like back when I was like 5.
Never mind. But there's this great, it's like the greatest scene in like stop motion history in my eyes. And it's like a chase sequence, and Gromit's on this toy train, and he's got like a box of tracks, and he's having to like lay them as fast as he can as like the train's going, and like turn his direction. And that's like this.
No, that's a good analogy for it. 'Cause God. Back on track to the actual plot of the movie, though. So let's say we're picking up from they have that dagger now, and I think so. They're exiting, or no, they're on.
They're going to that.
No, they're on Pisana now, and they meet Zori, and then 3PO. What do you think about Babu Frik? Because everyone's like, I love that thing. And it's like I like it, but cute thing, for some reason everyone was like, this is the shit. And I'm like,
Star Wars fans have always like really stuck on like certain characters.
I agree.
So like Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Like, oh my god. Darth Maul. Yeah.
Oh, Babu Frik, man. I'm cool with it.
It's just a little character. I'm fine.
So then the Knights of Ren are there, and then Kylo drops down. from the Star Destroyer that's just right above, and then Rey and them were like, I'm just gonna go right up there, and he comes down, and it's very weird how like because Kylo can like sense her no matter what. He like the closer he gets to her, he can kind of like because they're a dyad.
There should have been a scene where they're both flying.
That's literally that's how it felt, dude. That's how it felt. That's that scene. So they get to the Star Destroyer, and it's very like New Hope. You know, they get on, split up. One's doing one thing, everyone's gonna go to another thing. And I just, it's funny how like, because you know they're going to get Chewie, and Rey's like just going up there to see what's up. She does a lot of that in the movie. She does a lot of like, hold on, I gotta go do my own thing. Not that it's a bad thing, but I noticed that. I definitely,
Chris Terrio said so.
I definitely noticed that, like, because like she doesn't explain it. She's like, I just have a feeling.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's cool. That's cool.
I'll say that I like the set design of Kylo Ren's like sanctum.
Chambers. Yes, I agree. I don't like how it's like, okay, so you got Chewie's thing right there. I got the dagger lined up right there. You got Vader's mask right there.
Well, he's like a kid collecting Star Wars.
Yeah, toys, he kind of is. I was wondering what the screen has like a diagram of like a body. I was just wondering what that was. You know,
I didn't notice that.
It's very like, I wonder what that is. But then I do like the way Kylo does find out where she's at, because you know they start linking, and then she knocks over the Vader helmet. I like the way he's like, oh shit, I know where you're at right now. Although she's holding the dagger the entire time. If he sees the dagger, he's like, oh yeah, that dagger's in my chambers.
Oh. Are you sure?
No, I promise you. The third time I watched it, she was they link, and you can see her holding the dagger while she's fighting him. It's like if I would have been Kylo, I'd been like, oh wait, that's the only dagger in this fucking thing. Like she's up there. Weird editing.
Okay.
The editing's weird in that. Even though I like the way it happens, it just like she should have not been holding.
Yeah, there's plenty of moments in this movie that I like, but it's just like
that scene.
There's so much potential.
Yeah, I guess it is too. So much cool moments. Just like those moments built into a big story, they don't work.
It has the similar problem that Rogue One has. It's like, okay, we have to connect. These things have to happen. Let's connect them. A, B, C, D, and like
we have to get to this moment.
Yeah, and it feels like, okay, we're at this moment now. We have to go here, and now we have to go here, and like the in between stuff isn't as engaging.
Yeah,
and I feel like this one has way more face value stuff than the other two, because a lot of most of the Star Wars movies, they're very rewatchable and they're rewarding, and this is just like, okay, there's not much depth to a lot of what's going on, and that disappointed me.
Yeah, me too. Also, before that scene, we move past it. That's the scene where he's like, "We're a dyad." I do like the way the way the ship, the Falcon, I think, is blowing them back, and he's like holding himself. That's cool, that's a cool, just like the way he uses the Force there. But he's like, "You're a Palpatine." But the thing is, this is a thing that I think about now, because I was telling you about how stuff doesn't track. So at the very beginning, when Palpatine is like, she has secrets that you don't even know about.
Yeah.
When does he find out that has he always
right after that?
When?
It cuts away. Like
but when's the moment that he finds out that she's a Palpatine?
Right then.
Do you think that's when he realizes that she's a Palpatine? Or like that's just you gotta.
She said, and he's like, he tells him that, and then it cuts to Finn and Poe doing their shit. So while that shit's going on, he's telling them.
Exactly
what's going on.
Well, I guess I'm saying like we don't see it.
I think we don't see it because then we wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think that's just the way the screenwriting is set up. It's not because then it just leads me to think like, okay, so he found out then, but like you didn't, like we need some type of relevant information to get us from point A to B. Not that I don't like thinking for myself and like putting it together. It just there's not much like
they feel like they have to give the audience everything so they don't feel lost, and part of that is because they're scrambling to keep up with everything that's going on.
It's like
we have to make this in bold font. So.
It's like here's a moment. We don't know if that works, but here's another moment.
All right, here we go.
So like to get you to not think about it.
It was like when I got out of the movie, I was like, yeah, that was fun, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wait, if I keep thinking about this, it might fall apart.
Yeah.
So I need to just not. And then I saw it again, and I was like, I have problems with this movie.
The first time, see, I was the opposite. The first time, I was like, I have problems with this movie. The second time, I was like, I guess I'm just like, I'm accepting it, and it is a fun movie. It's
the
not
second
boring.
time I watched it, I was in denial.
It's not boring
because it's just, to me, it's just not nearly as good as the other two.
I agree.
So it was just like, yeah, fuck.
I think why I'm so disappointed too is that there are so many cool sequences and potential for really cool Star Wars stuff that are in it. Like the whole, like you were talking about the Sith stuff. The lore behind it all could have been so cool, but
the biggest sin is bringing back Palpatine.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like it's like I was wondering going in, I was like, what if this movie makes Anakin's plight and sacrifice not worth a damn? And it kind of really does.
Yeah,
I mean, like maybe it stopped Palpatine for a little while, but not long.
I agree, because then if you hear Hayden Christensen, what he says to her, he's like, force back like I did.
Yeah, like I did.
It's like, what? No. Yeah, exactly that. I was like, God. You know, I was reading that Matt Smith, that is, he was like one of the Doctor Who's.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
He was supposed to be in this movie.
Oh, really?
And he actually has scenes that are cut, and apparently he was supposed to play, the original plot of this movie wasn't Palpatine coming back. The original thing was, at least this is what I read. I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah, sure.
But what I read was, I thought it'd be pretty cool. Is like, do you know the Mortis arc in Clone Wars?
Boy,
he was supposed to play the son.
Look.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wouldn't that have made so much more sense to be on that type of planet full of dark side energy?
That's what they should have gotten into.
Yeah.
They should have pulled it full circle with Mortis and like the inner workings of the entire like Force.
Well,
and, like,
I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I read. And imagine if that would have happened.
Imagine all the shit they could have done.
Yeah.
I feel like Rian Johnson studied more than fucking J.J. Abrams did.
He studied
easily.
J.J. studied the movies, like the original trilogy, which is like nice. Like
I
like nostalgia. I get it.
You really like A New Hope.
Yeah.
So do I.
Rian Johnson was like probably reading just.
Yeah, dude, all kinds of shit.
Who knows so much shit?
Fuck.
Yeah. It just leaves you like, damn.
He should have. He should have nixed. Even if you couldn't get Lawrence Kasdan, get like Dave Filoni to like supervise.
Just get the story group that they have at Lucasfilm. They have a whole story group that Dave Filoni like runs.
Yeah, Dave Filoni's story group. There you go.
Okay, so what do you think about the one and only actual lightsaber battle in this movie?
Okay, here we go.
So let's get to this part before. Yeah, so they leave there and they go to the Death Star. Blah blah blah.
Knife.
They use the knife.
Is that on like Endor? Where is that?
No, that's like another moon.
It's like
Endor.
another.
Yeah.
Because we got the forest moon of Endor, which is this is just like another.
Yeah, and also before we get to that, real quick, we've been saying that so many missed opportunities and so many cool things that could have been like expanded upon.
Yeah.
Rebellious stormtroopers living out on a thing.
Yeah.
That could have been so cool. Like
they didn't have the time.
I know.
It could have been. Oh, I was just like imagining like an entire episode of like the Clone Wars or like Mandalorian, like exploring that.
Yeah.
But it's a movie.
Yeah.
And so
Anyway,
was only 2 hours and 15 minutes. I feel like they could have slowed the pacing down just a little bit.
Wasn't The Last Jedi longer than this?
Dude, The Last Jedi was 2 hours and 30 minutes,
yeah, that's
bro.
what I
It was
thought.
like 15 minutes longer.
And originally, this movie was supposed to be the longest one in the trilogy, but they cut it back.
Yeah.
They cut it back.
Apparently, there's a lot of deleted shit.
Yeah, I think there are a lot.
Release the JJ cut.
Oh, dude, yes.
I would be interested to see what the original like full shit would look like.
Because like Rose had scenes with Leia or whatever, and
you can't just have one of them have a director's cut and not
not
it's like
other,
what?
Yeah.
It's Star
weird.
Wars with a director's cut.
I read a tweet where it's like, "Are we just gonna start doing this with every bad movie? They release the so and so cut," and I'm like,
release the Lord and Miller cut.
I kind of
that would be interesting because they shot like 90% of Solo.
I'm in the minority. I like Solo.
No, I like it. I just don't love it. It's just like
I think it's probably one of my favorite ones.
Okay,
like I really do
it's
like
just
it.
another expanded universe thing, which I'm
is.
fine with. I'm glad that they put Darth Maul in for a cameo, even though it was just to make people. No, it does make sense.
I mean, it does make sense, but it's like,
I mean, people watching it don't understand because they haven't watched the Clone Wars.
He ignites his lightsaber through a hologram to be like, "Yeah, this is Darth Maul." If you didn't already get it before,
well, they do that in Star Wars.
I know
when Lando pulls his mask down in Jabba's palace and just to show his face.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny. It's like you didn't we all knew this was Darth Maul.
I mainly liked him in that just because I liked the confusion of people be like, "What?"
Everyone in the theater was like, my mom was like, "Who is that?" I was like, "Oh my god, it's the whole thing."
I love his shit in the Clone Wars so much.
I agree. I like his shit in Rebels too, the way it
Yeah.
ends.
Oh yeah, for
It's
sure.
really great.
And we're about to get more of that in season 7 of the Clone Wars because it comes out next month.
I mean, that's like the Siege of Mandalore.
Siege of Mandalore.
Yeah.
So
See, I think it's going to tie into the way the
no,
Mandalorians are.
it has. And I told a lot of people who were confused about the Darksaber. We'll get into this.
Yeah, but we got way off track because we got way off track.
Yeah, wait, yeah. We'll come back to the Darksaber.
So we're at the point where
we're talking about the lightsaber fight, which is pretty much.
Janna's like, "Don't go yet," and then they're like,
what's
"Okay,
the
don't
point
go
of,
yet."
What's the point of Finn?
Finn's just Ray. That's the entire.
I know,
movie.
but like he doesn't achieve anything.
He doesn't
by
do
doing
anything.
He just like follows her.
Yeah.
Like if there was something he could have done to help her or something, then there would have been a point.
And the whole movie, they're implying that he's force sensitive too. Why, like,
which I like.
I do like too.
I wish we could have I wish it would have just started with him being like.
Training too,
starting to get like his feel for like the Force.
Yeah,
just like
maybe
that,
him like having a lightsaber.
He could have joined in on that fight or something.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
Because like they clearly set it up where it's like I just have a feeling, there's something that I want to tell you. It's like, okay,
you should have at least had a scene where like that came to fruition. He actually told Rey what he wanted to say. Instead, we never got that scene.
Exactly.
It was like I was kind of dumbfounded by that. I was like. Did they forget?
They probably did.
What happened?
Or they just didn't have time to do it.
You had time.
That's the whole thing.
You could have...
Well, because Jannah was supposed to be Lando's actual daughter.
Yeah.
They cut it out because they couldn't... That's why that weird-ass last scene where he's talking to
like,
Jannah
hey,
and he's like, let's go explore your past.
I've never met you before, but...
Yeah. Well, apparently
you
she
look
was...
like me, right?
Yeah, she was supposed to have a whole thing with it. It's just like, ugh.
And it was fun. It was like weird because like people were like... Is that Lando? Before it came out, they're like, "Is that Lando's daughter?" And they're like, "You're racist. Just because she's black doesn't mean she's Lando's daughter." And then it happened. I was like, "Well,
no." Like literally, my mom. We were walking in, me and my mom, and she was like, "That's probably gonna be Lando's daughter." I was like, "Mom, chill out." Like, and then it was.
I was like, "Okay, well, all right."
Anyway, okay, so she's scourging the Death Star, the throne room. She has like a weird trial before with the teeth. It's so
there
stupid.
should have been a more
set up.
There should have been much more of an interaction between her and her dark self.
Yeah,
instead of just like a falling backwards. Like,
and just like
yeah. There should have been like a major temptation moment right there.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like, okay, maybe this is what I want.
Yeah.
But they don't.
Because we don't get into her thought process. We get into Ben's thought processes so much. We don't get into what she's really thinking about. There's never that moment of like, do I really do this? Do I need to do this to get what I want or to?
Yeah.
We get Ben doing that. We get like a lot of Ben doing that. He's actually like the actual to me the protagonist of this entire movie, not Rey.
Yeah.
Rey's just like a sideline character, and I like Rey as a character. It's It's just that she doesn't get much to do in this besides be like, I don't know who I am. I'm really fucking powerful, and I'm gonna stop you.
Yeah, I do like that part where she's trying to tell Finn stuff, and then he's like questioning her motives. What does she say? She's like,
no
one knows me, or something like that.
Yeah, she basically just like backhands him, like, dude.
I was like, okay,
I like gets real sassy with him.
I thought that was an interesting character moment, but it should have been explored more in the scene we were just talking about with Dark Rey, aka Empress Palpatine,
with the fucking teeth,
with the teeth. And it's like.
She's a
she
shark.
has teeth, I'm evil.
Yeah, I'm evil, I'm a shark. No. So that happens. She gets the Wayfinder, and then literally, dun,
crush.
Kylo's there. I like that. I mean, I like the way.
No, that's fine.
It was fine. It just definitely is one of those dun moments. And so Kylo's there. I forget. Do they say much before they start fighting? I forget. Does he say much to her before they? Really...
He's like, look at you.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
Does he say anything like you going to be tempted or no? He's like he crushes it and he's like it's only me now. If you want to be able to do this,
you can tell she's kind of manic. She's like, fuck. But
I like the way they fight. I do like the actual fight itself.
The fight is fine. Here's the problem. There is a problem. I think is that I feel like the choreography should have been better because there's too many cuts.
It's kind of sloppy at some points.
There's too many cuts, and you don't get to see enough of the choreography before it cuts. There's too many tight angles, which is a problem people have with the Attack of the Clones fight between Dooku, which I thought was cool because we've seen enough lightsaber fights. But like, it'll be real tight on them, and then fighting, and then cut to different angles. And then it'll be like a really wide shot. Instead of having like a medium shot, follow them, and have the full choreography.
Well, do you see like
view.
Whenever you get some of that, you do get a few shots of where but the choreography is like really slow at some points. You know, they're kind of going.
Yeah, it's not as interesting as other fights that I've seen, and so I feel like maybe
I feel like
it rushed?
I feel like they didn't have enough time to prepare.
And so they like hit it with extra cuts. To be like, okay, we need to extend this.
Yeah. Well, I like the way that for the first half of the fight, there's no music. Like it's just the noise of the waves crashing, and I
guess I didn't notice that.
And there's no music at all, and you normally expect a big bombastic score behind it.
I think we could have used a little of the choir from the prequels,
dude. Well, they do that in the trailer for it. They have that dun 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 dun, and I was so ready because they played that music during that scene in the trailer. I was like, oh. Because the music does eventually come in, and I was like, "Ooh, it's gonna be like the dun dun dun." Nah,
I think it should have been a little bit larger of a fight because it was so like amped up, like in the.
I agree. I do like the
okay, because this is supposed to be the big.
It's the only fight in the entire movie, dude.
Of the movie, it should have been grander. It should have been a little bit longer, and it should have been choreographed a little bit better.
I agree. But I do like the, what did George Lucas say? It's like poetry. It
rhymes.
But so I like how it's like the direct reverse of Revenge of the Sith one. Instead of lava, it's water. I found that pretty cool.
That's fine.
Because I feel like that was a clear choice of like, maybe it wasn't, but the way my head sees it is like, it's like a kind of a opposite of what happened in the other one.
Okay.
And I do like they jump a lot. They finally jump around.
Like
I like the flips. Bring those flips back. I like all the flips.
It's too late. Bring it back. It's over and done. There's no more.
My favorite flip is the Kylo flip around the Knights of Ren.
That's awesome. And then I like the.
Dude, that's my favorite moment. I think in the entire movie.
That's such a Han Solo thing. If Han Solo was like a Jedi.
That and then when he lands in the thing, he's like, "Ouch."
I was like, yeah. I mean, that's what else would he say there?
Yeah.
I mean, he could have been silent, but.
Okay, so tracking back, the fight's happening. I do like in that moment though, Rey force pushes the shit out of Finn. Like she's like she doesn't like just like, hey, get out of the way. She's like mad and angry and like emotional, and she's like I would have loved it if she would have hurt him on accident. Like she did with Chewie. Like maybe that keeps happening and she's like that could have been an arc.
But they wouldn't have seen each other for the rest of the movie.
I guess you're right. They don't see each other.
There wouldn't have been like a reconciliation or anything, so
yeah,
that would have been cool, but like I said,
I just maybe keep in line with what she's doing the whole movie.
A little bit more.
They keep saying she's super powerful. Let's see her do that stuff, but she can't control it, hurting her friends. I think that could have been a great trope that she has to go through in this movie, where she keeps hurting her friends, which she doesn't mean to, because she's so powerful.
What a good idea!
And Ben,
why didn't we write this?
I did. And Ben trying to accept the fact that he's not as powerful, but he's a Skywalker, and just have those two different anxieties and stresses work their way through this movie. Would have been so cool to me. Would have been so cool.
Yeah, would have.
But anyway, so that happens, and then Leia.
Hold on. Why does she go back to Ahch-To or whatever it's called?
What she says is she's like, I'm going to do what you did, Luke. I can't. I'm too powerful.
And in that moment,
and the Emperor's going to.
Is it because she thought she healed him?
No, literally, she says to Luke, I am too the Emperor wants me, and I'm not gonna let him have me, so I'm gonna do what you did.
It was just confusing.
It's all that whole scene. That's like my least favorite scene.
It's just cuts, and she's destroying the ship.
And fucking Luke comes out like, "Hey, remember when I threw this? Don't do that." That's what he says to her verbatim. He says, "Remember when I threw this thing like a joke?
I was wrong.
I was wrong. Don't do that, you asshole." I didn't like The Last Jedi either. That's what he says. I swear.
Chris Terrio said that wasn't meant to slight against it.
Bullshit.
He said that it was like a growth for.
I get it. I do get that he does
him saying I was wrong. It could have been said better. It could have been so bluntly.
It could have been done.
It sounded on the nose, distasteful.
It could have been hey, don't throw. Let's not have her throw it. Let's have her do something else. And then he's sits down with her, imparts some wisdom to her. It's hey.
Brings it out.
Yeah, maybe gives it to her and hands. Yeah,
this weapon is your life.
Or he's he already has Leia's lightsaber, which I don't like that at all anyway. But anyway, regardless, he already has it ready for him. He's here, take this. He imparts some wisdom. Dude, Yoda has one of the best monologues in any of these Star Wars movies. In The Last Jedi.
Last Jedi. Oh yeah.
There's not a scene like that, and they try to do it with that Luke, and he
doesn't
say anything.
I love that Yoda scene so much.
We are what they grow past.
That
is the burden of a master. That is
so good.
Yeah. Anyway, but
beautiful.
But
hold on. Yeah, wait. Hold on.
We're going too far ahead. We need to get to the scene with Leia dying and Ben dying, kind of, and then
yes,
and
I
then,
do like him. I like the look on his face when he's sitting there drenched in rain. And, like quiet.
And they're both like worn out. They're both like you know.
And she almost gets her ass beat.
Yeah, and it's clearly taking a toll on her. No, he was about to win. He was about to win that fight. So okay, so here's my question: what do you think Leia did in that moment? What I think. Actually, you go first. I want to know what you think first.
I think it could have been a little more clear. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I think it totally could have been, but
I just think. I mean, was it another distraction? Or was it like?
I think it was like
a desperate calling out to him, and it distracted him, and then he got killed, or was it supposed to distract him the whole time?
I think it didn't end there. I think because the memory of Han, where he's like a physical thing, he's not a Force ghost. I think what happened was Leia distracted him. He gets knifed, and I think because Leia's body doesn't go away until he leaves, until he dies. I think what that memory is Leia is still like pushing her son basically, and she's the one who makes that memory happen. I don't think Ben. Okay. I don't think Ben is just like know what, my dad. Like I'm gonna think about my dad. You know what I'm saying? I think that might have been what they were going for. It just is so like. You got to reach, I think. Yeah, but I think that's what she was going for.
You have to suspend your disbelief more than any of the other movies.
And like I'm willing to do that. It's a space fantasy about wizards, but this one's especially hard to really rationalize what's happening. But I think that's what happened. I think she distracts him.
Well, first of all, is she even trained hard enough in the Force to be able to disappear when she dies?
I don't know, man. We get that one scene where
okay, well, you don't like. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's stupid that they used CGI to reconstruct.
No, I actually like that scene.
I like it, but
it's just weird.
It's just
weird. I think
I don't like all that
Uncanny Valley looking
Uncanny Valley bullshit.
And it's clearly Mark looks so much better because he clearly was there to film it, and all they had to do was probably just her. It was a whole different person.
But in the Legends, as it's called now, Leia was doing Jedi shit. So I'm glad they did have that scene.
I do, yeah.
That's fine. But it's just obviously it's them saying, okay, well, Ben threw his lightsaber. How does he get one to fight at the final battle? We gotta go. Luke's, wait, backtrack. Okay, Leia had a lightsaber. No, okay, now back.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they reverse engineered this movie. That's what they did.
Yeah.
But all that aside, that actual scene, Adam Driver, I think he just is one of the best actors right now. He doesn't even say a word. He just says "dad," and I do like the nostalgia of "I know." I like the way they use, because he's saying "I know" instead, because he clearly wants Ben to say "I love you."
No, I think he wanted to say, or I think he was going to say "I'm sorry."
I'm sorry, and I love
fucking killing you.
I'm sorry, I love you.
He didn't even have to say it.
Yeah,
it's just I know. So that worked for me. I didn't even think about it in the Empire context.
Actually. Oh, I did. I totally did. That's the first. When he said "I know," I guess I actually
didn't.
That's just such a a thing in my brain of that is such a specific moment that the minute he said "I know," I was like, oh, it's probably a callback to the Empire. But it worked. It wasn't I didn't think it was bad at all. I thought it worked.
I did like that scene.
But I love how he just says "dad" because he clearly wants to say "I love you." I'm sorry, but he's like Han. He can't say that.
Yeah.
And Han like his dad is like his son is
that made it believable to me. It's one Rey killed him and then saved him basically. Yeah. So he was shook by that.
Yeah.
And then he had that whole conversation with his dad,
which I think was what his mom did for him. So he basically just in that moment he was overwhelmed with good and saw a reason.
I bought it.
I
when he threw the lightsaber, I bought it.
I'm not gonna lie. That moment he threw the lightsaber was I wanted to yes, because I've been wanting him to be good for the entire I like him as a character way more than a lot of other.
I get
Star Wars
symbolically
characters.
throwing the lightsaber, but if it was me, I would have kept it because it's fucking cool.
Yeah, I agree.
But
so that
you gotta do it.
You do the
yeah.
So that happens. Yeah, Rey she fucks off to Ahch-To.
Yeah.
Has a weird talk with Luke that doesn't really do much besides hey, get back out there, kid.
For some reason, his hair is
way longer, and the Force Ghost is way bluer than it normally is.
Yeah,
it looks weird.
It looks definitely kind of weird.
So that happens.
Well, hang on. Why does he have to be all blue? The Jedi Force Ghosts in the original trilogy are not all blue.
They're just outlines.
I
I mean, they're
maybe
blue. They're blue, but they're not like he looks like he is physically blue. You know?
Obi-Wan is like, yeah, you can see the colors of his robe.
Yeah,
so
that's like the way they did it in Last Jedi, where Yoda is still green, but you see the blue like kind of around it. Luke's like straight up blue.
Yeah,
is that blue milk he drinks?
Too much blue milk.
Too much blue milk, dude. So what do? This is where I forget what happens because what do Poe and Finn do while she is at Ahch-To? Because there's that moment.
Poe is like...
Poe's also one of my favorite parts of the movie. I think he actually is... His comedic stuff in this is great.
At this point, Poe is sitting down next to her when Leia, who's dead, and he's like, I don't know what to do. Oh. Because they've enacted him as general.
You know what? You know what moment actually did get me where I was welling up was Chewie screaming. That
moment when she finally...
when he like finds out what happened, I kind of got a little emotional. Just knowing, too, that she's actually gone, it just was like... A lot of emotions kind of just welled up. And I was like,
I get that.
I'm not cynical about this whole movie. I just think there's some problems.
No, for sure. There's big problems.
Yeah, so, he's general.
And he's like, I don't know what to do. And then Lando's like, hey, kid.
Yeah. And then
he's like, I'll help you.
And then I
like that he's like, I can't do this alone, Finn, so I'm making you a joke.
I wish they would have made out.
Everyone except for my mom wishes that they would make out.
Like in that moment, I do like the actual comedy of that moment though, where they're talking about playing, and he's like,
first of all, thank you.
He's like, no, thank you. And then they go back into it. That's great. Yeah. That's why they should have made out, because that kind of like chemistry, perfect. Would have believed that.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, I do like. Yeah,
but no,
I like Poe a lot in this movie.
I do too, and I like that they give him a love interest. I just wish they would have they attempt to.
Sure.
I do like that moment, going back a bit, where he's like, "Can I kiss you?" And she's like, "No." And that felt very like, that's kind of a good. He's like, okay.
I wasn't looking at you, and like she moves and Poe's right there. Yeah. Finn's right there, and then
they're great.
My mom would have shit
herself. Can I kiss you? Like moves out of the way. Come here. No. So
you're gonna have a gay kiss anyway, but it's not gonna be Poe and Finn. Okay.
So lost cause, man. But see that I remember that moment is the moment where Mary from Lord of the Rings is like, Palpatine is into some dark magic that only unnatural, and then it's like he's talking to the camera.
I didn't even realize that's Mary.
Yeah, it's fucking Mary. What's his name? Dominic Monaghan. That's his name. That's his name. It's fucking Mary from Lord of the Rings.
Wow, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, he's the one who just stands next to Billy Lord. Yeah.
Billy Lord. Yeah.
Okay.
He's looking kind of cute though.
Oh, dude, she looks like Carrie Fisher. Like, I mean, Carrie Fisher's cute. Okay, so...
I wish Rose had more to do.
I wish Rose had way more to do, and I will forever champion the fact that they fucked her so hard.
Okay.
It just...
definitely, yeah. Just, like, okay, what do we do?
She was like on the press tour as like one of the, like, you do that for the main characters, and they clearly were setting it up like that, and it just feels disgusting. It feels slimy. Gross. It feels really bad. Like, if I were Kelly Marie Tran, I don't know what I would do. I was just so sad about this whole thing.
Hey, at least she had a big enough role in the 8th one. At least she can live with that and be like, I'm in this fucking movie. Bro.
Yeah, that's true.
I get it, but like, yeah, it sucks. A lot, I don't know. That's just weird.
I don't know either.
And Chris Terrio keeps saying, "Oh no,
there were more." It just because
I love The Last Jedi and all this and this and this. I'm like, dude, clearly.
The only reason we cut her out is because Carrie Fisher was more.
Clearly, Disney was like,
dude,
okay, we want to appeal to everyone with this movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how do we do this?
Yeah. See, that's like the cynic in me that I'm just like, I don't want to be cynic towards these movies. These are not like they shouldn't be cynical movies, but man, I can't help it. Like,
problems.
Exactly.
You can't overlook.
I can't, and I won't.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, back to the actual story. Where are we at?
They're like, okay. They're like, oh, here's Luke's X-wing.
Oh,
they're leading us to Exegol.
Oh man, that moment too where he lifts the X-wing, I liked, but I also hated at the same time.
You hated it? That was an actual Luke moment. I was like, yes.
No, I like Luke
now
doing
he's fucking doing it.
Yeah, no, actually,
I actually like that a lot.
I liked it a lot, but I would just like. But then, actually, you know what? I take that back. I don't not like it. I forgot that there was a shot in The Last Jedi where you see that X-wing down there. I forgot that. I thought he just was like, remember Red 5?
No, it's...
But they set it up. I forgot. So now we're good.
Well, but do they? Because it's been in the water for years. Yeah, how does it work?
I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
And how did she just didn't know that Sith holocron was in his ship? she's like, "Oh, here it is."
It's like sitting like right on the dash, you know, like.
Like what? Okay.
But I do like him. He doesn't have his arm. I like it. You know, like he doesn't have his metal arm, and he just is like doing the Force, and he finally lifts that damn X-wing.
I do like that he lifts it out.
He finally does it. Yeah.
That's fucking. But I was like, man, can Force Ghosts do that? But Yoda brings down lightning in the Last Jedi, so I was like, okay, they can do shit.
And so she's tracking, or she's going to Exegol, and she's making a path,
leading the way for them.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, let's go
to Exegol,
and Lando's just gonna go on this like hour-long quest and randomly
Chewie and like
randomly get
every person
on Earth
in Star Wars
go.
Yeah,
which doesn't make sense. Why didn't they come to Crate when they needed them most?
It was so.
And now Lando can suddenly bring everybody.
It was so weird. It felt like I know this has already been said, but dude, it was weird. It was like an Endgame moment. It felt like a you know.
It did.
It was really
unfortunately,
weird
it did feel like,
but not as good. Like,
it felt like Disney was like, oh,
we need one of those.
Both of our giant tent poles this year are going to have very similar.
Like on the radio, like down to like on the radio, you hear like someone say either on your left or like, "Hey kid," or whatever it is, and it was just a weird moment. It was a really weird moment.
I was like, man, it was cool, but also stupid as fuck. How did Lando pull all these people together?
I don't know.
Why?
And just to get back to like, how are there so many Star Destroyers? Like,
well, first, immediately I was like, I'm gonna have to ignore that there's suddenly 1,000 of these Sith
from underneath every what
cartoony
with Death Star cannons. What? What the fuck?
Yeah. Immediately I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to.
just
throw my belief away.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Hold on. I was about to say something. Okay. Back to when I was saying they should have fleshed out the Republic and like the kind of like the culture and like
the world of Star Wars.
Yeah, the world, and then it would have been more believable if he could have gathered all these people together. Yeah. If throughout the trilogy we could have seen them like
every planet they go to, people there that they meet are like, oh yeah, this is the Resistance, and they see, and you know what, The Last Jedi does that, and they don't follow up on it with those kids, with Canto Bight, they're seeding the Resistance, you know, they're planting.
Yeah.
What is like the line that's in the trailer in the movie? It's like, you know, we are the spark that will ignite the Resistance or whatever.
The spark that
Either way, like that was
fire that
yeah, that's yeah.
So
the dead speak.
Like, so yeah.
So we get to Exegol.
Welcome to Exegol.
Yeah, we get to Exegol. Rey's chilling. She meets Palpatine. Not much tension. A lot of it was weird. It wasn't like it wasn't as tense as it needed to be at all. It was weird.
No, and it was like we knew that like that Ben Solo was going to come.
Oh, absolutely.
So we knew like she wasn't in any immediate danger.
And like I said, we don't get into her head at all throughout the movie, so we don't really know if she what like what you know what
she should have been far more tempted, just like in with the fucking.
They set her up as like this really angry character who clearly goes with the dark side all the time. Like why would they not like?
Just like they should have fleshed it out at the Death Star, where she should have been tempted by her shadow self.
Mm-hmm.
Now she should have been tempted even harder, and it should have taken Ben to like reel her back in and like set shit straight.
You're talking about cinematic like or juxtaposition of their characters.
Yeah.
See, dude, it would have been so good. Hey. It would have taken a Skywalker once again to bring some like
there. It's right there. All the pieces are there.
Yeah,
you could have done that.
So she's getting her ass beat, or no, she's not actually. She's
just saying like,
is she
no.
Like, yeah, is he like force choking her or anything at that point? I forget.
No, he didn't take the life force until they're both there.
Yeah,
it's kind of like what?
Why would you stop doing that?
What's the point of Kylo coming? Because all he does, I mean, he fights the Knights of Ren, but like. Other than that, he doesn't do anything. He just shows up and then
to get his life.
He gets his life sucked and he gets flown the fuck back.
Yeah,
he's just there to bring Rey back to life when she dies.
Yeah,
so
cool.
It would have made
cool into his character.
Would have made so much cooler sense if he would have like helped bring her back to the. Anyway,
there's no like Return of the Jedi. A lot of people have like issues with how funny it is at the end, but like
I don't.
I don't either, but I don't like the Ewoks, but as much. But
I love the Ewoks.
But regardless, you know that final battle is so emotional. There was nothing like that. I mean, I think they wanted to do that for that middle battle. That was going to be like the big emotional battle, but that was a good setup to what a good confrontation at the end would have been, you know?
The throne room shit, to me, is top tier. And,
Yeah.
And Luke, like, looking at his own mechanical hand as he strikes down his father.
Yeah.
And then he throws it
it
fucking away.
Have the moment.
Fucking sick.
Set Rey up to be, like, really tempted, and she does turn, and they have to have a battle. Kylo and it's a good cinematic parallel of the Emperor watching and Kylo and Rey fighting each other, and it takes Kylo this time to bring her back.
Fuck. It's right there.
I'm just saying, like, and then he literally does the same exact shit like in Return of the Jedi, where he opens up the thing. He's like, friends
as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, JJ really likes the original trilogy.
And The Last Jedi already did that. Like, they already had that moment.
Yeah, they did.
They already did that.
They already did this.
I said that.
They did Return of the Jedi like twice in
They
a lot
already
of ways.
did, and they already did the Twin Sons ending for a character. They ended the Twin Sons on this one, but they already did that in The Last Jedi with Luke. I know. So we're getting there. So that happens. Kylo gets... So are those like the chorus? Those are just like spirits of the Sith, or
fuck if I
because they're
know.
not real people, but they're there.
I don't know.
They get like
Are they not?
I don't. They didn't get.
They said they mentioned that he has his followers.
He has like the thousands of
It's
generations
just like
of
some
Sith.
sort of like blue collar like labor guild.
I thought it
built all
Well,
this.
I thought like the chorus
is
was just like
this?
the spirits of the Sith that are just like
maybe.
he like embodies them now or whatever.
Maybe.
I see. I don't know.
Who's to say,
Cool
really?
little like visual, but I don't know what the fuck it
Yeah,
means.
definitely
you know?
cool visual, but like
You don't know what it means. Why is it there?
again, there could have been more weight to the scene with all these beings watching them if we knew what the fuck was going on. Yeah, so
Ben gets thrown off like a little asshole, and then he opens up the thing, if I remember right, and then it's that stupid moment of like she looks like she's gonna take it, but the whole movie has been like, no, she's not gonna do that. But then she's like, I'm gonna do it to save my friends. It's like, but are you? No.
Well, what I don't understand is that he says, "Strike me down," and then
I will be
his
in you.
spirit will go into her.
Yeah.
When has that ever been a
That's
thing?
his whole plan is like, I want you to kill me.
So when he does get killed, why does he go away forever?
I see. Because she
Once
force
again, I
lightning.
gotta drink at the same time.
Yeah. Because she force lightnings back at him and
I guess
takes
she
away
uses
his
the
life.
whole power of the Jedi.
What did you think about Palpatine doing like mega?
Okay, first of
mega
all,
lightning.
That's the shit. I love that.
I know. Yeah, I like
They
it too.
literally like base boost it.
Yeah. Dude, they do. Like, it's like the lighthouse. With like the way this like the ending of the lighthouse with the
And there's this video that Savannah and I have laughed at for ages, where it's just like him and Return of the Jedi, and like he does it, and it's like super bass boosted,
it's
super loud. You can't even like barely hear it.
Yeah.
And we laughed our asses on that. So when it actually happens, canon in this movie,
They really do
basically,
bass boost the
I'm
shit
like,
out of that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like-
But it was so cool just seeing it, just from like a fan servicey like fucking cool.
I'm not gonna lie,
shit.
I love the way he fucking looks when he gets that life energy back, and he has got like the mix of the
He's got-
Sidious robes
he's got the
and
Sidious
the
robes,
Palpatine like
the yellow eyes,
and like
he's
the
got
Palpatine
the-
like kind of fancy
Oh
looking
yeah, he's like,
ascot.
I'm back, bitches.
Yeah.
for 5 minutes.
I like the way he looks, and he starts hamming it up again like Palpatine did, and he starts hamming.
It's right there.
And then he does a thing, and then Kylo.
But then it's just
and then what
not-
happens? She starts doing it back.
Well, okay. Well, hold on. She's fucking passed the fuck out.
She's passed the fuck out, right?
That's at one point.
Yeah, but when is that?
I'm trying to remember.
Because Kylo gets thrown, and then Palpatine comes back because he's
No,
done
wait. Okay, they're both passed out, but he gets up first.
Yeah.
He's able to get up, and
he looks like he's about to fight him or
like,
something.
psych.
Nope.
And then she's still passed out.
Yeah.
And
And then,
all the voices of the Jedi, which was
oh
fine,
yeah, that's how
which
she
was-
gets back up.
which was fine with me.
The voice of the
'cause
Jedi. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's how it happens.
I'm fine with it, but I'm also not, because it kind of like it's like Anakin's like bring balance to the Force. Like, I once did. No, you brought back. I love Anakin too much. No,
I do like they got everyone. They got
I like
Kanan
the-
from
yeah.
Rebels, man. They got Ahsoka.
They got what's her
Liam
name?
Neeson. They got
Liam Neeson.
The
other
Shakti
lady.
or some or
No,
one of like
not Shakti, but maybe Shakti, but the one she has
Luminara, I think.
Yeah,
Luminara.
Yeah, that's it.
The green
yeah,
one.
the green one who has the little
Who's
apprentice.
with like Shakti.
Looks like a shithead.
Yeah, the shithead one, or the one who has the shithead apprentice. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. who like fucks Ahsoka, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fucks
Okay,
over.
well,
Fucks
yeah,
over.
fucks over Ahsoka.
Yeah. But yeah, Ahsoka's there, Sam Jackson, and then you get, I do like the Alec Guinness one, and Ewan McGregor.
You get both of them, yeah.
And Yoda, obviously.
Yoda.
And Hayden Christensen, man, I'm glad that, like, as much as I hate...
think they should have just went full fan service and just had all these, like, different Jedi ghosts.
I think that's what, dude, I've read shit that was actually happening. And then they were like, no, don't do it.
Well, there was concept art for episode 7 that was, like, a ghost Anakin, and it was, like, partially, like, Vader-ish and, like, flowing in between both
kind
good
of going back
and
and
light.
forth. That's really cool.
And it was, like, I think if they couldn't have brought Harrison Ford back to do that scene, I think it would have been like force Anakin to talk to him.
I think so too. Because
Which is kind of what I wish happened. Just because I'm such a fucking Anakin fanboy.
I am an Anakin. I like Anakin too.
But
it happened.
It is what it is. I don't control any media conglomerates, so I can't say shit, I guess.
So she has the 1,000 generations of the Jedi. He has the 1,000 generations of the Sith.
And for some reason, it just works.
And then she gets up, and then she has hers only first. I was like, it wasn't believable. I was like, dude, you have 2 of them. Stop using one hand to force lightning this shit. Like, just go ahead and do it.
That's another Saturday morning cartoon thing.
And also, like, they established that she has the force lightning. Why didn't she use it on him ever? Like, if she already has it.
I don't think she even knows how to begin to control it.
Yeah, I agree. But
I think that's next level force stuff that just happened to slip out.
I think it was like, Palpatine's the only one you've ever seen do that before.
No, Dooku does it.
Yeah, but...
the only reason Vader doesn't, I think, is because he's fucking mechanical.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Dooku does do force lightning.
Dooku definitely does force lightning.
Yeah, but people forget about Count Dooku. He's like, I think he's the most forgettable, like, of the bad guys.
He's forgettable, but I do like him in the Clone Wars.
The TV show?
Yeah, the show. And he's like secretly trying to overthrow Palpatine. Yeah. And he trains Savage and all that.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
It made him cooler.
It makes both fucking
Darth Maul and Count Dooku.
Dooku way cooler.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
well, anyway, so she just melts his face off.
Yeah.
And
it's way too similar to fucking Lord Voldemort.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, it's like, okay, it's too Hollywood.
It
needs to be Star Wars and less Hollywood of an ending. It's like, power versus power. Very much like Harry and
Voldemort. Yeah. Melts his face off, dies. We see Ben's hand. It's like, yeah, no shit.
Well, okay, yeah, he gets up and he goes...
I do like how he's like wounded and walking.
I wish he would have had at least one more line.
I wish he would have not died, honestly. I'm in the camp of, like, don't die. I think, here's my, people are like, how would he wouldn't just go back to, like, he couldn't just be a good guy. No, what he would have done is he would have atoned for his sins by going to Ahch-To and living in isolation like Luke did, but for an actual good point. For, like, living out in solitude, reflecting on his actions for, years and years and years. And just being there with Luke. I think that could have worked.
Maybe.
I don't think he could have gone back.
He himself could have tried and spread the word of the Jedi around.
Something like that. Something like to get all biblical, like Paul the Apostle. I
think he's did too much shit and he killed his own dad. And I don't think I'm glad he redeemed himself, but I don't think he could have lived.
Okay, I agree. I mean, I don't agree, but I think it's acceptable.
I think it's fair.
I think it's acceptable. Do you like the kiss? I like the kiss.
I personally,
I like
it. I think it's fine. It's like, you're overwhelmed.
Yeah, they set it up.
You were just brought back to life, and this guy
and they clearly have a connection. And they clearly have a beyond it's like a spiritual type of connection.
They're kind of like force cousins, which to some people makes it even sexier.
Yeah. No. Oh, okay. So that happens. Everything. The day is saved. Gay kiss. Yay.
Hold on. He also disappears into the force.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like an ability that you have to really
hone yourself.
Yeah. and Yoda was surprised as fuck to hear about it.
It's like Qui-Gon is only a voice because he could only halfway do it. Yeah. He
suddenly everyone dies.
Obi-Wan's the first person to canonically do that and do it well.
And suddenly even fucking Leia can do it and Ben.
Well, okay, so I was leading up to that moment. So the ending with those two motherfuckers standing there watching Rey, Luke and Leia. Why is Ben not there?
Yeah, that's the.
Why is Ben not there? Why is Ben not there?
Ben easily should have been there.
He should have been there. I do
What
not
the fuck?
understand why he was not there. Like,
It's so weird.
It really meant
That was
like
such a weird like.
the movie doesn't make me angry, but that moment makes me angry. Like, why is he not there looking after her,
It should have been him like smiling,
smiling,
like
white robes?
yeah.
Oh man,
Perfect. Like that should have been. Yeah.
that was a little low key thing that I wish, because you know Star Wars is famous for like their moods shifted. They're in different clothing. You know, like their clothing a lot of times reflects how they
Sure,
are.
yeah.
If Ben would have come back and not in just like rags and actually had like some type of lighter garment on, I would have been so okay with it. I would have been so happy to see Ben not in black.
He disappears. Why doesn't fucking Anakin disappear at the end of Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, I don't know.
I've never
But he's
understood
still a
that.
Force ghost.
Yeah, it's like I get it. You want to like have the scene where Luke burns the body and all that, and I get that. But like, I know it's cinematic. He's got to talk to him and stuff, and he dies.
It's like poetry. It
Basically,
rhymes.
like, dies in his arms. But like, he should have disappeared.
Yeah,
that's always something I've always wondered
I
about.
know.
Like,
And
what?
Vader was clearly like trained in the Force, and he knows a bit like
Yoda's spirit and Obi-Wan. So it's established in the original trilogy.
Oh, it's established that Sith don't disappear. So it was see that's a weird.
he was redeemed.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's weird. It's a weird like okay. Either way, I don't like the fact that Rey goes to Tatooine to put away. I like the sentiment of that, like putting away the lightsaber, but like Leia has no attachment to Tatooine, so that was weird for me.
Oh yeah.
But also, I hate the way it happens, where it's like, who are you? I'm Rey. Rey who?
Rey Star Wars. That's my favorite
Like
joke.
I don't mind her taking on the name of Skywalker. I think it's fine. I just hate the way it was presented. I hate the way it was presented.
Hold on.
And then like see another
I'm
weird.
fine with it, but like there's multiple ways it could have gone. She could have
I think
she
should
could
say
have
Rey.
kept she could have either just said Rey. She could have kept Palpatine and have that name be now something of like peace.
That's yeah.
And so and changed the history of the name of Palpatine, or I don't know. It could have gone a lot of ways. Skywalker, why? I mean,
Yeah, like
you want to keep the name alive?
she was like honestly she was on better terms with Han. You know, like she like if anything like she had a more fatherly
Rey Solo.
Rey Solo. Hey, that'd be kind of cool. Rey and Ben Solo. Yeah, I don't know.
And keep the name alive. I get it.
Yeah, and that's why I wish my still like headcanon is I wish that Skywalker would have been used as the new name for the Jedi. That's how the Skywalker name lives on. That's what a Jedi is.
That was a popular theory too.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, I wish that's what it would.
No, I mean, a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Like, I like this."
And then they throw in the whole she has a yellow lightsaber now for no reason.
The piss saber.
The piss saber. And then it's on her freaking staff, which like why does she all of a sudden just like, oh, I'm gonna turn that, and there's like kyber crystal in there.
She's got to show you. Hey, I made
The
this.
staff that I've had since episode 7, it's actually a lightsaber, and it's yellow.
I mean, Ahsoka had a yellow.
Well,
lightsaber,
yellow
so-
also, if you know like the canon of what the saber colors are, yellow is like balanced and like good. It's like the same type of like Mace Windu thing where it's like you tuned in with like the dark and the light. And,
Yeah, well, Mace Windu. The real story is that he just
he
wanted
wanted
a purple lightsaber.
but the thing they made canon is like he's a more angry
Yeah.
Sith or whatever.
Jedi.
Jedi.
I do like that Mace Windu, how angry he looks when he's fighting Windu.
Oh,
when
yeah.
he's fighting Palpatine.
He just is like
he looks like he's fucking.
he's gonna
Fucked.
murder him. Yeah. So yeah, the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
final thoughts.
I mean, I'm not done yet. Final thoughts. No. Here's the thing. I feel like there's a lot of people to blame here. It's why didn't Disney have and Lucasfilm have
Just a through line?
cohesive like arc that they were planning to do?
Not even like script. Just like at least the points of like
Here's
we need to get from there to
we
there
want
to
to
there
do.
to there. Yeah.
They should have like had a definite structure, and JJ didn't help by setting up certain things. I mean, I get that there needed to be like payoff. We needed to know who Rey was and this and this and this.
And I think we found out who Rey was. She was
No,
nobody.
yeah, but
You know what
okay.
I'm saying?
Cool. Also, there is a little bit of fault for Ryan Johnson.
I agree. I'm not saying he's the best thing in Star
Because-
Wars either. Yeah.
But because he should have been a team player a little bit more,
Yeah.
and should have like yeah, I'm glad he got to make the film he wanted to make, of course, because that's how I would feel.
Mm-hmm.
But like, this is Star Wars. This is a big deal.
Yeah.
And you should have set up, or followed through with certain things and like kept other things just for the sake of the trilogy.
I think the biggest fault to me, like narrative-wise, of The Last Jedi, not plot, like specific moments. I think it shouldn't have picked up right after The Force Awakens. I think that you could still have that chase scenario, but established more of the world. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And so there's.
But then
this goes back to the whole like setting up the actual where the galaxy's at. You know, in Star Wars.
Well, also he had to work with the cliffhanger. Like, how do you just like
pick up where that left off?
You want to know. You don't want it to just skip to suddenly she's training with them. You want to
honestly, I would have been okay with that. And then they just like they don't have the exact scene for scene.
But that's not what he wanted to do. He wanted to
pick up where left off.
Luke Skywalker deconstruction.
And
he couldn't have really done that if time had passed, because if he'd already wanted to train her, then
no. I mean, I'm saying time had passed, and
sure.
You know, yeah. I see. There's a lot of
we need like I said, more world building, more
connective tissue.
Just we need to see the heart of the.
What is the point? What are the point of these 3 movies? What's the overall like message of these movies? You know, the original trilogy is like good.
Money.
No.
I mean, come on. They bought Star Wars for $4 billion. They gotta get their fucking money's worth.
Well, they made it back within the first like year.
Oh, sure, yeah, but they were not expecting The Last Jedi to be as polarizing as it was.
No, they weren't.
And they probably were not expecting The Rise of Skywalker to underperform. Because usually the third movie in like a franchise usually does better than the second movie. It's just, with like
I don't think
a lot of franchises.
I don't even think it's made $1 billion yet. And the other two had made $1 billion by this point.
It's made like $450 domestic. The Last Jedi made like 600 something.
And then
domestic.
The Force Awakens was like
900.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And so like this is gonna make Lucasfilm as well as Disney reevaluate some things.
That's why you wanna transition to this into The Mandalorian, because this is why I think.
Well, yeah, we can talk about post Rise of Skywalker Star Wars in general.
I just think this is a good. Just take a break from the movies. Take a break. Let's just take a break.
I think they want to do one in 2 years.
I read a report that the next trilogy of movies are going to be like pretty much Knights of the Old Republic, like set 400 years or something before.
Cool with like.
I'm cool too.
I think personally, I would want them to go even farther.
Me too.
I'm talking like thousands of years in the past,
like actual Old Republic,
old shit, and like. They get like a truly patrician director, someone who like is like a class act. Like Star Wars is supposed to be a spectacle. It's supposed to be beyond the standard Hollywood fare. And The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker felt like the standard Hollywood blockbuster that we've been seeing for the last.
Who would you get? Do you have any ideas of who you want?
I have no idea. But what I'm saying is that in my mind, if they did a shit set in the past, it needs to be classy. It needs to be fucking.
I would love to see Darth
heroic.
Revan.
It needs to be far beyond the fucking shit we've been putting up with that's been coming out these last 10 years in theaters. Just like there's so many average blockbusters that I'm like, yeah, I've seen this.
Yeah.
Okay, this pleases this market testing group. This appeals here.
It's test group.
Yeah.
Movies.
So
yeah,
I'm totally down with that, but we need a break. I say stick to TV for a while.
And we got a bunch of them coming.
Yeah.
And honestly, season 2 of Mandalorian is hype as hell now. It
is hype as fuck.
So excited.
And we got the limited like 6-episode Obi-Wan shit, which I will watch.
And you know who's showrunning it is Deborah Chow, and she has some of my favorite episodes in The Mandalorian. Yeah. So I'm
then we got
good hands. Cassian Andor, I don't know.
I don't give a shit about personally.
I honestly, he was my favorite part of that movie, but I don't.
I don't give a fuck. What could he possibly do that's so goddamn interesting? He's just gonna die.
It's just gonna be like Clone Wars era stuff.
No,
I want more gaps filled in of post Jedi now.
I don't need any of that shit. I'm done with that. They had their chance to expand on the New Republic and all that, and
why the hell Palpatine's back?
They didn't do it. It's over with. I have to accept that.
We passed by this moment so quickly because it's so just like, what do you think about Hux dying randomly, but also being a small?
No, I don't believe that.
Like, what?
No, that scene in the... First of all, I was surprised because JJ chose for that to happen when he's the one who made The Force Awakens and had that giant Nazi scene with Hux, like, almost in tears with hatred.
Yeah.
With how much he fucking despises the rebellion and shit. And he's, like, screaming almost. I'm like, fuck, this guy's into it. Now he's a spy just to be
I don't want to
spiteful.
I don't want to see you guys
just
win.
to be spiteful.
I just want Kylo Ren to lose.
Just to be spiteful.
And then you got Sarah. You got new Tarkin 2.0.
Who? That guy who's like
I served you.
In both wars or whatever.
Why would they throw that line in there?
I never saw it.
What the hell is that? What is that supposed to mean? Why would you throw that type of line in there? It's a weird thing to. They see.
It's just another Band-Aid that they're just throwing on.
Those are those lines that make me start thinking about like what. My mom too. She was like, was he in the old one?
No.
He
They're
wasn't.
trying to like cover up certain things to try and help you.
Trying to fill gaps of why Palpatine's back and shit. Like nah. We gotta take a pause for a second. I have to pee so badly. I'm about to lose my mind.
Tell Sumner to come in here and give final thoughts.
Sumner, give final thoughts.
Hey guys. So man, I don't even know what to say while I'm sitting here alone. Rise of Skywalker fan fiction. I don't know. It's hard to be not disappointed. Yeah. Yeah, man. Come here for a second. Surely you've heard what we've had to say.
I've heard some things.
What are your final thoughts?
I'm not gonna go anywhere near any, specific comments on, quality of direction or acting or writing or directing.
Sure.
None of that stuff. I'm just gonna say that in my humble opinion,
let's go over a little bit.
Yeah, in my view, reasonably well informed opinion, the Star Wars Disney sequel trilogy is one of the many of the signs of the times that are just swirling around us in kind of an endless shit swirl. And as the times began, when they began, they weren't quite so intense. I enjoyed The Force Awakens, but, as we've kind of slipped further into the...
madness.
Yeah, into the...
corporate madness. This is why I, halfway believe that Hollywood's going to collapse.
And it's a...
I just when we saw The Force Awakens, before it, you were this happy, chipper, wow, another Star Wars.
I made it 6 times in theaters, and I never got bored of it.
Mm-hmm. I think I saw it 3 times in theaters, and then twice in the first few weeks after it came out on Blu-ray and shit, and
it was a fun time.
It was a good time, and other people have different views, but December 17 rolls around and The Last Jedi comes out and sign of the times. Other people have different ideas,
sure,
but to the extent that Rise of Skywalker is a sign of the times. A big reason Rise of Skywalker is what it is because of Last Jedi. For better or for worse.
For better or for worse.
And
like I was telling him, and I told you, we were talking about that a few days ago, but
yep.
It's JJ's partially to blame, Ryan's partially to blame, and Kathleen Kennedy / Lucasfilm
mostly to blame.
Is mostly to blame.
Yeah,
not having that cohesion,
none.
full plan.
And
it's not even full plan. There was no plan.
Which is bizarre because it's the biggest tentpole of all time.
Yeah, so
This guy. Well, I'm almost like relieved in a way now that it's like basically all over. At least like the main shit. It's like, okay, maybe we can reevaluate some things.
Yeah.
It's stopped. There's nothing to look forward to.
What does Obi-Wan say in Attack of the Clones? He's like, stop, think. He's like, this lightsaber is your life. Like,
but it's like,
Yellow fucking lightsaber, my ass, dude.
What's wrong with that? Ahsoka had a yellow lightsaber.
It's just a subjective my take. I just think it's kind of fucking stupid. It's
I
like,
think
who are you? Rey Skywalker.
Rey Star Wars.
Dude.
I think what's fucking stupid is like, oh, her staff was a lightsaber the entire time.
I don't think that was implying that.
Dude, like
that.
I don't think so.
I think she like built it into it.
That's really? Well, they didn't get any. The way it was filmed was like, oh, look at my staff. I'm gonna.
She would have used it. No, I don't think she was. They were.
I think it was implying like, I'm gonna just twist that, and there's a lightsaber there.
I don't know.
Sure there was
but then
a
again,
lightsaber.
But then again, it's Chris Terrio, Batman versus Superman, Justice League. So
oh my fucking god!
Can't say. I guess I can't give him the benefit of the doubt.
He wrote Argo, man.
Fuck. I never even finished Argo. I was just like, whatever.
I don't know.
I'm good on that.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, everybody, you know, we haven't gotten quite as deep into it. You and I have, or whatever. Yeah. And your varying stages of coping /
denial,
not coping. Many people are experiencing emotions like that as a result of this movie, and it's like I've said to him, that's the kind of reaction that to me just came 2 years early.
I just I don't like being cynical. I really don't like being cynical, and Star Wars is the thing that I'm really not cynical about.
I don't want to be cynical,
yeah,
but I can't help it.
Yeah, no, see, I don't like it, but I've been given enough, you know, concrete, you know, firm as fuck reason.
If you have beliefs in things.
Yeah.
But I still
you don't want to delude yourself.
But this is Star Wars we're talking about.
That's what I'm saying. It's just.
I understand. I understand.
I'm in an inner battle with myself every day. Every day.
I feel you.
Like, do I just accept it, or do I actually hold my ground on these things? I don't know.
No, man. I was thinking there were so many things going on in my life the last few weeks, and I was like driving, and I was like, I've been thinking about Star Wars for 45 minutes. Yeah. This is not right. Yeah. But then I was like, I can't help it. This is Star Wars. It's supposed to be more than just standard Hollywood fare.
It's true.
And that's what it turned into. I shouldn't be surprised.
I've been busting my ass being
I've been like in denial
for 5 years, man.
It's hard for me to give like specific real thoughts on like the Rise of Skywalker because like no shit at like 45 minutes in, like at the latest, I did not give a fuck.
I think
like I just didn't. I had no emotional connection to what I was watching in that movie theater. I was like, I am here in this theater wrapping this thing, partly because you asked me to go, you know, and I'm glad I went. There's nobody I'd rather go with, but it's like
it's kind of important.
It was
in a way.
And so, but it was such that I just did not give a fuck, and so
that's yeah, that's fine.
It's I'm not trying to, you know, I'm
not
trying to be Debbie Downer.
No, we need all different sides.
Yeah, you know. So
I think we've criticized it a fair amount of this actual time. It's not like we're over here like I love that movie because there are things I like in it. So good. There are things I like in it. There are.
Now, Sumner and I were talking about like how Revenge of the Sith for us as like fifth graders was like the event of like,
I'm talking about. I left that theater. I started growing my hair out like Anakin. I literally on the car ride back. I'm not kidding you. This is what I did. I already had my like leading up to the movie. I was like, I'm gonna grow my hair out and be like Anakin. And so I had it like that. And on the way back from the movie, I was in the back seat of my parents' car, and I was just like, I was trying to be Anakin. I was just like trying. I don't know. It just was like, yeah, this is my shit. Like,
you turned her against me.
Don't let you kill me,
dude.
No, but what we were saying it was like the event of like our lifetime, and so like going in to this movie, my little brother was going, and I was like, whether we like or hate this movie, I don't want us to be like overly negative about it walking out because I don't want him to feel
Yeah.
like we hated it because I knew how important it was
I
to
agree,
him
because
and he loved it because he's a fucking 12, 13
I
year old
left
kid.
the theater. There were like kids right in front of me, like, and they were just like, "Oh man!" And they were so excited. And, you know, see, that's what I'm trying not to be cynical. Is if they're,
I get it,
These is
but-
like
That's
playing-
why I am cynical. It's because
No,
it's
but
like my operating like mindset is, of course, these kids have grown up with nothing but trash.
but for the people who saw
No,
the original
no,
trash,
that's what I'm trying to
we
get
grew
to.
up with trash.
No,
so
so
like
They're not. It's not trash. Goes
That's-
way too far.
that's
over
subjective,
people's-
though.
Here's
it's objectively.
that's
true.
what I, that's
Yep.
no, that's what I was
I've
getting
had
to.
time. I've had time. I know what's what.
That's
I know what's
that's what I'm
good.
getting
I know
to
what's
is
not.
that us millennials, we grew up with the prequels, we love them. Gen Xers fucking for the most part hate them. So
Hate
I'm
'em.
wondering if these kids will grow up and still love these like we do and have like nostalgia goggles. Although I think the prequels are better as Star Wars movies because they're more Star Wars because they're George Lucas and they're dense with Star Wars.
I think the
But,
story that was presented in the prequels better. I think the actual filmmaking for the,
I get
sequels
it.
are better.
I get it. Except for Revenge of the Sith because that's my shit. But
Yeah, it's like probably my favorite movie of all time. You know, like,
I
I'm
can't
not
help
even
it.
shitting you.
No, I can't.
Yeah,
help
I
it.
can't
But
either.
I'm wondering if like it'll hold up to them as the prequels held up to us because I think there's more face value like Disney shit in these. I don't know if it'll like compare to how we.
Lego Star Wars was a big thing in my life, along with the like. They don't. Do they have Lego Star Wars for these new movies?
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
they do. Excuse me. They did for the Force Awakens.
Oh, really?
And then they didn't just for the Force Awakens, which is weird because they normally do 3.
All of them, yeah.
But now they're remaking one, but it's like all 9 Lego
Oh,
Star
shit.
Wars.
Actually,
And I
that's
bet
pretty-
my
that's
brother
pretty
would
dope.
love to play
Yeah,
that
that's pretty
Yeah.
dope, actually.
because he never played the Lego Star Wars movie or games.
I play those games more
I
times.
played those.
than,
I played Lego
the
Indiana
hours
Jones
I put
too.
in, the hours that I put into those games was like too much.
What was I talking about
I
though?
don't even know.
Okay, first of all, yeah. Well, objectively, I know that Empire Strikes Back and A New Hope are like the best filmmaking wise on a technical level, but like Return of the Jedi and Revenge of the Sith are my 2 favorites.
I think Return of the Jedi is like
Those
my
are it
favorite,
for me.
and Empire my favorite, and then it's Return of the Sith. Because also I grew up watching. I have an emotional attachment to going to my grandma's house. She had like the VHSs of the originals, and so
Yeah,
I would watch
same.
those just as much as I watched the prequels. The only difference is I saw the prequels in theaters, which is a totally
Sure,
different.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I
I
still
don't-
have like the attachment of like those older ones along with the prequels.
I don't think there's a movie I've seen more than Revenge of the Sith.
That's
I've seen
might
that
be
movie.
fair for me too.
I've seen that movie like upwards of like 200 times.
I have definitely seen Attack of the Clones way too much. I like way too much. Like I've seen that movie. I think for like when I was growing up, for some reason that one was like that's the
A
shit.
New Hope I've seen just almost as much as I've seen Revenge of the Sith.
I've seen Return of the Jedi way too much. Also, I've seen that movie so many times that like
Revenge of the Sith was kind of iffy. My mom, when I was like 4 or 5, she would skip a lot of the Slave Leia, and like,
oh man,
what's the Twi'lek girl's name who
Oh,
gets killed by Jabba?
I don't know, but oh boy. Peter Parker.
Oh boy, yeah.
Oh boy, yeah.
No,
Dude,
she would
oh
skip
boy,
some of
yeah.
that stuff because my mom was like real,
Oh no.
And so I only got like the second half of the Jabba shit when I was
Really?
until I was about like 6 or 7.
Damn.
But it clicked with me in like middle school. I was like, I like Return of the Jedi the most because to me the throne room confrontation
It's the
to me
best of
is,
all
like-
time.
I think Empire is my favorite lightsaber battle, but
Yeah.
like just overall the throne room and when he gets overcome with anger.
I love that
That's
one
the shit.
specific scene, silhouetted, tracking right to left, and they're just like going.
oh yeah,
yeah.
oh,
Oh, no,
oh,
man.
so good.
It's like one of the I mean,
That's
Jesus
tight.
Christ, it's one of the best.
We were saying like, first of all, there's no point. I mean, there's a point, but it's like when Ben Solo goes to Exegol to help her, he basically just fights the Knights of Ren and then shows up and gets his life force sucked and then thrown out.
Yep.
So there's not much point of him to be there except to give his life to Rey after
Yep.
she. So like,
Which in theory I get it, but they haven't set up like what we were talking about is like, God, imagine if rewriting this whole movie real quick of the whole movie. She's so powerful and she keeps hurting her friends. You see that once with Chewie, and you could see maybe a moment of. You know, the moment where she force pushes Poe out of the way, hard
Finn.
as shit. Finn, yeah. when they're fighting.
They could have built on that.
They could have built on this thing where she's so fucking powerful that she keeps hurting her friends and she doesn't know what to do about it. And you don't get much into her psyche at all about what she's going through. You get what Ben's going through because you get these moments of him like reflecting on what he did, talking to his dad, shit like that. Ray, you don't really get, and I'm not a Ray hater. I was telling him that I like her character. I like her character a lot. I really do. I think she's cool. She doesn't do much besides be like, I'm really fucking powerful. And that's about it. Now imagine her arc in the movie going through like her hurting her friends because she's too powerful and her having to reconcile with that. And then
she has the scene on the second Death Star's ruins where she goes in with the shadow ray and it's like over in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, that was tight. But really,
it should have been a major like
turning point for her,
like temptation to the dark side.
That's the middle point for her. That's her fucking moment.
See, this is well past the point where I stopped giving. Like, I'm not trying to be like that, but it's like it. You're right, and it's like it. What would Star Wars be if Disney had given the sequel trilogy to the three people in this room in 2012?
Me and Scott were talking about like we could have sat in a room and like written easily a better shit.
I mean, well, listen, this is why Kathleen Kennedy is to blame. They have a whole entire story group. Like Dave Filoni has a legit story group that like they check all canon, they make sure everything connects. That's why Rebels and shit ties into so much shit.
Yeah.
And Clone Wars works so well.
Yeah.
Because they sit down and they think about, okay, so this, that.
And also
this,
they
that,
would go
this,
to
that,
George
that.
Lucas.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, what is this? And what should we do here? And Lucas would be like, this is.
Although, have you heard Lucas's god awful idea for his sequel trilogy?
Hey man, the will.
Oh, dude,
you're talking about
fuck you.
No.
The
wills? No.
Fuck yes.
No. Like they're going like small, like biological. Have you not seen like
the wills, man?
Oh, nah,
I'm into that.
I'm down.
I would have been down.
Give me the nitty gritty force.
Give me the shit.
Yeah, give it to me.
No, but okay. But what we were saying is that it would have been cool if Rey would have like been tempted and would have like turned kind of at the end and
because there's no actual final battle.
She would have fought and it would have been flipped. Ben would have been good fighting and then he would have had to like convince her and like
because the whole movie she's like going to the dark and I'm saying if they would have set it up of like she's hurting her friend, she's like I'm fucking so powerful I might as well give myself over to this because maybe this is what I'm meant to be because the whole movie is like you're a fucking Palpatine. Okay, let's do something with it then if we're gonna do that.
Instead, we get the cartoon like Saturday morning like special like Voldemort and Harry, which I think is like silly. Instead of that operatic moment from Return of the Jedi where he picks him up, he fucking throws him. And it's like
I'm a Jedi.
I mean, I'm preaching to the choir here. But fuck, it's just it's over with. You know what I mean? Like,
I think I've exhausted all my points. I think
this is like my therapy session.
I think this is
the most face value Star Wars movie I think out of all of them. I'm calling this cast Star Wars: The Rise of Diminishing Returns.
Cold.
I was just like,
it's not your fault.
I can't help it, dude. I was in the shower the other day, and I like the denial like finally left, and I was just like, man,
Star Wars: The Rise of Reddit.
This is so important to me. I can't help but not be like hurt.
Yeah, I agree. That's why it's so. Yeah.
You're gonna watch this. No, you're gonna watch this through as you're editing it, and you're gonna see my face when I'm not saying anything.
Yeah,
and you're gonna see the true, but it's some final
Don't
thoughts.
let it kill
it's
me.
all in the silent facial expressions.
Anakin. Okay, wait, hold on. There was something I was gonna say.
It's over. The end of the trilogy. It's over.
Disney has
it's over. Yeah. No, they don't, dude. It's only made $400 million. Only. You know what I mean. Forever sleep. Well, what's your favorite Star Wars lightsaber battle out of all of them?
Oh, definitely Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
For like the actual choreography, for like the actual shit in the plot that's at stake, for the aesthetics of fucking Mustafar, like the verticality and shit.
I hate how long it goes, and once they start doing the swing shit,
that's what's so good about it.
I love the first half of that fight. That first half of that fight is like
I'm into
fucking
it. Because then it's like, but you get the.
I get what they were going for.
It cuts between Yoda and Palpatine too, so it's not just like straight.
Also, I think Palpatine
too.
Yoda is one of the worst ones in the series. I
I would say that.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
I think.
All the lightsaber battles in the sequel trilogy are pretty much trash.
Because also the way
no way, I like the Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens one is good,
and I like the Last Jedi one too.
The Last Jedi one lasts for 3 minutes, and it's literally just Luke just getting out.
No.
I'm
talking about Rey and Kylo against the guards.
See, but it's
not a lightsaber battle, but
if I'm jumping into the pool of people that consider the sequel trilogy canon, which I guess I am for this sake, you have to. In terms of aesthetics, that's one of the most aesthetically pleasing battle scenes in Star Wars.
I love that fucking scene.
But it to me, I have a hard time considering it like a lightsaber duel.
It's not technically a lightsaber
because of the
duel.
shit with the Snoke's guards and shit
it's
like that.
Technically never a lightsaber never clashes.
Yeah,
so it's weird.
So
technically no, but
it's just a dope fight. I'll give him that.
I think my least favorite one is Anakin and Count Dooku. Yeah, that's the worst one. Not two.
There's not much to that one.
Well, it's just okay.
Yeah.
And then also actually, you know what? The Palpatine Yoda one, whatever. The Palpatine Dooku one, I do not like. That's the one I'm like.
Palpatine Dooku.
I mean, I'm Dooku Yoda one.
Oh,
that one's weird,
in
man.
theaters, it's just weird. Yoda walks in, it's it's this big ass shadow, and it's it's Yoda. And he pulls out his little lightsaber.
Everyone hates shit.
But then he just starts jumping. It just looks so weird.
That's just tight.
I've never been in a theater more hyped than when Yoda pulled that lightsaber out.
Same.
Dude, that was crazy.
That's deep childhood satisfaction right there.
Dude, we used to have a dome theater here in Little Rock back when I was a kid. That's where I saw Attack the Clones. On that dome theater. Imagine being 8 years old.
I fucking love the Coliseum scene in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
I always think about that moment where
that's a model set. A lot of people don't realize that.
Really?
Yeah.
I just pictured that moment where Padme jumps on that thing. And I'm like, your vagina must hurt because she slams on that thing.
I've always thought that. I'm
damn, that has to hurt.
No nuts. Everything's fine.
That's the thing that I think about. That's a moment in Star Wars history that I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Oof.
All right, we got off track. Where are we at?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We were just talking Star Wars.
Yeah.
Post Disney trilogy, where is it going from here? What do we want?
What
do we not
I like
want?
what Mandalorian's doing with the lore, and I like where I don't know where it's going, but it's clearly building to a bunch of Force shit that's going to happen next season. It has to, the way they're setting it up. There's going to be some Force shit. I think there's going to be. I don't know, actually. I don't want to say one way or another because I really don't know, but
I'm just mainly looking forward to the last Clone Wars season, which is in a month.
That's fair.
Siege of Mandalore, man.
Yeah,
you think we're gonna see Moff Gideon in Clone Wars season set? Because he has a Darksaber, he's got to get it from somewhere.
No, because
Bo-Katan had it at the end of Rebels.
The Darksaber's in Rebels, so no.
Yeah.
But what we're going to see, I think we're going to finally see that fight scene between teenage Boba Fett and Cad Bane.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that was.
I need to rewatch Clone Wars. It's been a while.
I've watched it twice.
The last thing I remember is Ahsoka leaving. That's the last little arc that I remember.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I mean, I think we've exhausted.
I think I've run out of steam here. I just think about Star Wars and
Star Wars therapy session.
Yeah, this is just weird. This is really weird.
The last canon TML thoughts for a long time. Anything you want to say? Anything else?
I didn't hate them.
No, I don't. I like them as films, but now with the Rise of Skywalker, it's was there a point to all of this other than money?
See, for me, the last.
No, there wasn't.
I should have known.
For me,
I should have known.
No, it was an ATM.
For me, the Last Jedi is the ending of the series. Luke is gone. He's peace, and there's peace in the galaxy for a moment.
Don't fucking get him started.
That's why I said it.
It is what it is.
Last Jedi is the best of the Disney ones.
Yep.
Easily.
Solo's the dark horse of the new ones because I think that movie's actually pretty good.
Solo,
it's really fucking. It's actually really fun. It's a fun Star Wars.
It's a fun movie, but it's just as unnecessary.
I think everything's unnecessary.
I'm good. Okay, well, who's the cynical one now?
I'm just kidding.
There's no meaning in these movies.
Everything sucks.
There's, I understand, but yeah. nothing.
We got to end on some sort of positive note, right? Right?
I love seeing Luke's green lightsaber in that one flashback of Rise of Skywalker.
You mean Last Jedi? Oh, no. Oh, you're talking about the weird CGI.
Yeah, I was trying to end it on something. I just like seeing that green light. Every time that green lightsaber's lit up, I'm like, oh, yes, that is right. That is very right. That's something really pleasing about that. Luke with that fucking green lightsaber, man. Come on.
Yeah, it is fair. I kind of wish we could have gotten more.
I wish I would have seen that lightsaber goddamn again in this. I wish we would have had that one.
Wish we could have gotten more like Legends kind of shit that we read about when we were kids in books.
I wanted to see someone in this new trilogy build a lightsaber.
Luke got a little too old. They all got a little too old.
Yeah.
I think.
Goldilocks.
All right. Well.
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
Ouch.
It's not good. It's not bad. It's right in the middle.
No, 5 is like a mediocre score.
Yeah.
6 is like an okay. 7's like a good.
Yeah, it's mediocre.
8's like a great. If we're going by the IGN scale, 9's amazing. 10's incredible.
Okay, I give it a passing grade, a 65.
Okay, a 65.
So it's like
I'd probably give it around that. I'd say.
Yeah.
It's
It's like yeah, I don't know.
Face
it's not
value.
offensive, but it is at the same time. It's weird.
It was fun to see with my friends and family.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that
at least it wasn't boring.
I'm glad kids, have a fun time. But at the end of the day, we'll always have the original 6 Star Wars.
That's true.
No matter what.
Yeah.
And if I feel like going into the expanded lore, I can watch Solo if I want. Or
Apparently, I heard
this Rise of Skywalker.
I heard talks of Rebels, like a new season of Rebels, like with Ahsoka and shit. Like,
I don't know if there's any. I think they need to leave it where it is.
That's what I've heard.
Disney has any smarts, they're putting a big old break on the Star Wars machine.
Oh, they're not.
With the exception of Mandalorian.
They're putting a break on movies.
No, because
that's what I'm saying.
They're about to try.
It's about to be Disney Plus out there.
Yeah, they're about to do Mandalorian season 2. Which is going to be hype as fuck because it's actually good.
Yeah.
But then they're trying to do that Cassian Andor show, that guy from Rogue One that no one cares about.
Oh, that's right.
And it sucks because Latino represent, but goddamn it,
sucks to suck.
Yeah, fuck.
And then they're doing that 6-episode Obi-Wan miniseries, and then
I've heard talks
who
about
knows what else. And then
they haven't canceled Johnson's trilogy yet.
No, they haven't.
No.
They
haven't talked about
they
it.
technically have not canceled.
They haven't talked about it at all.
No, listen, that thing has been not talked or canceled. When we've had, while that hasn't been canceled, we've had the Game of Thrones people get put onto a fucking sequel movies and then taken off.
Oh yeah, you're right.
High profile.
Yeah,
it is like
Johnson's still there. Like
there needs to be a mix up because we had the 21 Jump Street boys get kicked off of Solo after 90%. We had parts of
Gareth Edwards was
Gareth Edwards.
He didn't even direct that movie, dude. He there was 40
he
ghost directed that movie.
Yeah, Rogue One was
Tony Gilroy
so all kinds of shit has been going on that we really don't know. Yeah, we need to shake up. Oh my god!
But like I said, I just read today that the new trilogy of movies, when they finally do them again, is going to be like Old Republic, which hell yeah, but I don't know.
Disney said they want a new Star Wars movie out 2 years from now.
No, I thought. Well, Bob Iger said that they want to take a break from the movies after the Rise of Skywalker. Like I serious. I've read that.
I just read recently though that they're gonna have another one in 2 years. And it's not gonna be Skywalker related.
Money.
The ride never ends. MC rides wild ride.
The dead speak.
And that's the end.
my favorite exclamation point one is war. There are heroes on both sides. I love that.
All right, see you guys. Thanks for having spending your time with the boys.
The crew.
I don't even know what to say anymore. All right, see you, chumps.
Yeah, I'm having a cigarette.
Yeah, you probably need a cigarette.
Yeah, I can get my
It's the end of the Disney, not really, the Disney Skywalker era,
Saga.
I guess.
Saga
Skywalker
comes to an end.
Feeling good.
We still don't know how to open the podcast. We still don't know how to close it.
That's good. I think that's our thing. That's what makes us quirky.
Yeah.
I love you.
We got quirk clout. Thanks, Tumblr. We'll see you in Reno. All right, goodbye, everybody.